Hi there. Welcome to the Immune Workshop, a guide to natural illness recovery and prevention. I truly hope and pray that in this workshop, you will walk away with tools to help you fight the cold and flu season and also understand some more about your health and your immune system. My name is Sandy Eggers, and I own MTC Health and Wellness. A little more about me. I've been married to my husband for 10 years. I have two boys, and many friends. I am a physical therapist assistant for the last 15 years, but felt called to help others with their health struggle through functional medicine, alternative health, holistic health, because of my own personal story with being diagnosed with autoimmune disease, specifically celiac. That happened 4 to 5 years ago, just as I was having my second son. I was having a lot of illness and felt really, really horrible. And I didn't go to the doctor for honestly about 2 years because I thought, well, what are they going to do about an upset stomach? And I didn't want the testing. And so I just kind of avoided it, and it got worse and worse. And in the process of being diagnosed, I learned a lot of things that I wanted to share with others. And so as a result, when COVID hit, kind of right as COVID was hitting, I felt called to go back to school. And so I went back and became certified in functional diagnostic nutrition. I became a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner. Lots of fancy words. What do we do? We work to find hidden stressors, robbing us of our health through holistic functional testing and self-treatment with diet and lifestyle. The goal is to bring balance to the body and unlock our God-given ability to heal. Just to be clear, I'm not a medical doctor, and this presentation is not medical advice. Instead, we want to work on learning more about your body and how to self-treat, again, with the right kind of diet and lifestyle changes for you. What I love about this work is helping others to overcome their biggest health struggles so we can have more energy, mental clarity, and motivation to fulfill God's purpose for our lives. I personally felt that, especially in the height of my sickness, and even times in my health journey now, there are physical reasons to my day-to-day struggle, whether it be fatigue, whether it be some irritability that creeps up out of nowhere, or headaches, or what have you. There are physiological reasons to those. And when I finally did do all the functional testing, I felt very relieved to understand I'm not crazy. And there are things I can do to feel better. And when I did, I made a better connection with my friends and my kids and my husband. It made a huge difference. And so that's my passion. I want to help others do that as well. All right, so let's talk about the immune system. Hang with me for just one slide of a little bit of science here. Our immune system has two parts. Basically, it's kind of broken down into two parts. The innate immune system, which is basically our skin. It's the mucosal barrier that we have from our nose all the way down to our rear end, okay? That barrier is what people refer to as in the gut, leaky gut, right? When it's not working correctly, you have leaky gut. And you have things coming in that you don't coming in, like toxins and viruses and other things. And then also, things going out as well. And so it's not a good two-way channel. Leaky gut is a huge part of our immune health, but also our weight, our energy, our brain fog. So it has huge reaching effects and huge healing opportunity. So also part of the innate immune system is our stomach acid. And it's important to note here that stomach acid, often we think of it as being too high, but most people actually have issues with it being too low. So that's a story for another day, but be aware that we need our stomach acid to help digest and break down our food, but also to sanitize our food before it hits our small and large intestine and creates more of an issue there. Also, be aware that fever is another part of our immune system trying to do its job. And fever is not necessarily a bad thing, even though we feel bad, because there's a lot of, there's some inflammation associated with that. but it is actually our body's way of killing the toxin or the virus or the bacteria that it's dealing with. So just kind of keep that in mind. Important to kind of research when it's good to treat a fever and when it's okay to kind of let it ride a little bit to let the immune system work. Okay. So this system, the innate immune system is always on. It's always kind of hovering, and to keep it hovering and strong, it needs exposure. And actually, the more exposure we get as little kids from like 0 to the age of 5 to 7 is helping to build our immune system, especially build a diverse kind of forest of bacteria and fungus and microbes. It's called your microbiome, okay? And it's a complex, diverse forest in our gut. And the more exposure we have, the more diverse that's going to be, and that's going to really, really help our immune system and our health in general. So keep that in mind as well. But that's why, kind of bunkering down and staying away from everything and everyone is not necessarily good for our immune system. It's not necessarily good for our mental health. And so it's hard, it's good to play that balance of, when we don't feel well and when we are especially first starting to have a cold or what have you, to try to stay home and let your body fight that. But then, after a few days, that viral load should be decreasing from what I've understood. And things change. Our bodies are very complex, but this is kind of what I've kind of researched and what I understand, and I want to pass it on to you. But definitely do research for yourself and keep your mind open, because God made our bodies so complex, and what we think we know at one point can really be different in a couple years or even months. So we talked about our innate immune system. Now let's talk about our adaptive immune system real quick. So that is more the specific response. It's a big response with antibodies and immunoglobulins. If you test for allergies to certain things, that would be looking at your immunoglobulins. Okay, that's your adaptive immune system. Okay, another general point here is that the short-term inflammation is a good thing. Our body's doing what it needs to do to neutralize the virus, the toxins, and the bacterial pathogen. But long-term, if our immune system continues to stay on high alert and is fighting strong and bringing that inflammation in, it can really be destructive, and our body loses balance, and it can even become confused and begin to react to innocent things like good, healthy foods, but also begins to misfire and attack our stomach lining and celiac disease, or our joints, right? And rheumatoid arthritis. So there are keys to keeping a strong immune system, but also keeping it in balance. Okay, so let's talk about some ways to help that. So the immune system is actually 80% of it is located in the gut. So we think as of today, right? But specifically in that gut lining, like we talked about leaky gut. So this is a picture of it. To balance the immune system, we have to work on healing and balancing the gut and the microbiome. Okay, there's some different components there. But if you look at this picture, if you see here on this side, there's a healthy gut here, okay? And what this is a this is a cell lining inside of our small intestine, okay? And throughout that whole mucosal barrier from our nose to our brain, like we talked about, okay? In a healthy gut, you have the good guys, but also the bad guys kind of being moved along, right? The food's being broken down by digestive enzymes here, and it's going, into a complex system of digestion. We're able to break down those nutrients that we need to make energy, to fuel our immune system, to fuel our just day-to-day energy, okay? But the problem happens when we get these tight junctions are opened. And one of those ways that happens is because there's so much going on out here to fight that the body's like, okay, we need to open up and work on flushing some of this immune, like toxins and viruses and things that are down in the bloodstream. We got to open this up and get them out. Okay. So our body does that in response to a lot of things. But this is when you hear the term leaky gut, that's what it is. The problem here is that when this opens, it opens everywhere. The body sends out a chemical signal to open this lining everywhere. What does that mean? That means it's a two-way channel. We're flushing stuff out of here, but we're also allowing things in here to come into the bloodstream. And this can happen in every organ, but also the brain. right? So then you have inflammation, more inflammation in the brain as well. So this is not a good thing. We need these tight junctions. We need that barrier to be healthy, right? So keep that in mind, that gut health is tightly involved in our immune health. Okay. All right. So signs that your immune system isn't functioning properly. I have given you a handout and hopefully you filled that out. So if you have a lot of food allergies or food sensitivities, brain fog, fatigue, irregular blood sugar, lingering cough, sinus problems, but also signs of a gut imbalance are bloating, constipation, diarrhea, pain, indigestion, history of autoimmune disease, right? We know the immune system is not functioning properly. Likely it's overfiring. And as we talked about here, this leaky gut's probably been going on for a while, okay? COVID can hang out in our gut, causing issues for a long time, causing some of that leaky gut, contributing to it, both in the gut and the brain, right? That's why the symptoms of COVID are widespread. Our lungs have a mucosal barrier that can also experience some of those same issues where we have more inflammation and immune response going on down here, right? Every organ has its own mucosal barrier or microbiome. And then that mucosal barrier, like I said, goes from your nose all the way to your river. Okay, so along with other, serious illness, we know our immune system is involved there, chronic pain and swelling. So this is not a comprehensive list, but take a moment and just see does some of this resonate with you? Do you have some of these going on? Then your immune system ideally is not functioning properly. And it's kind of a red light signal to your body that something is not balanced and the body needs some help. Okay, so how do we do that? Let's talk about what decreases our immune system. Sugar, fake sugar, like aspartame, sucralose, even high fructose corn syrup, which is not fake sugar, but in many of our sodas, all of that decreases our immune drive, okay? And it adds to our inflammation, making us feel worse, okay? Even heart disease, big deal. Processed inflammatory foods like gluten, commercial dairy, convenience foods from a box, or, some of the restaurants. There are some healthier options out there. But also things like hidden stressors. So hormones that are not balanced, maybe some estrogen dominance going on, maybe some low testosterone that we need to help that gut. Maybe the immune system is overfiring or it's not strong enough. And the immune system, again, is mostly located and comes from our gut and our gut lining. Also, our digestion, right? We're not breaking down the foods that we need to for our nervous system to be balanced, for our cells to have what they need to function. And then our organs are not functioning correctly either. Detox, this contributes to that mental clarity. It makes us tired. It makes us feel just bleh, right? We all need some detox, and that there's a lot of crazy things going on there, but it can be as simple as drinking more water, getting some movement. It doesn't have to be incredibly complicated. And then energy production and nervous system balance. So what we do is we test blood, stool, and urine to find how you're doing in these areas. And we find healing opportunities and we work to heal them through self-treatment, okay? But then there's also life stressors, like emotional things happen. We have stress with our family. We have stress with friends. Or physical stressors of we are go, go, go. We are overscheduling. We have something every day and every night. There's no time for rest. And we are really bad about that here in the United States. We don't take time to care for ourselves. And a lot of times we're caring for others, but we're not caring for ourselves. And we can only give out of our cup. And when it's empty, because we haven't put anything in it, we have nothing left to give, right? And so others around us hurt along with ourselves, right? And then there's financial stressors. There's a lot going on right now. The price of bread is it's like 40% higher. It is insane what we are paying for groceries right now. And it takes a stress on our minds. And then it takes a physical stress on our bodies as well. Okay, how do we fix it? All right. The goal, there's some big words here, is to increase your body's ability to adapt to stress. Okay, we're going to do that through restoring balance in your entire body. How do we do that? We do that through a few ways. One, we find the right food for you, okay? No diet's right for everyone. I'm not going to tell everyone to go do keto. or even paleo, or whatever the fad diet is at the moment, right? Or even just going gluten-free. Like there's some great benefits there, but we have to eat whole foods. You have to learn to listen to your body and what it needs, right? Some of us do need more of the fat and protein and a little bit of carbs, vice versa, right? So we have testing to help kind of figure that out, but also it's important to help listen to your body. Also, eating whole foods, eating and avoiding the inflammatory foods, avoid the box stuff, try to make your own, rest. 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night is vital for your immune system. And when we're not getting it, right, if you're exposed to a bug and that night you don't get more than 6.5 to 7 hours of sleep, that decreases your immune drive and you're already on the offense, right? So it's really important that we get to bed early. We have a good bedtime routine. But also throughout our day-to-day life, taking time to rest and slow down, even 5 to 10 minutes to let the nervous system reset. A nap is not a bad thing. It is not a reason to feel guilty. And I challenge you to try a 10 to 20 minute nap and see if you don't have some more energy afterwards and some more focus. Also, our body cannot repair when we're constantly in go, go, go or stressed out, because that puts our body in fight or flight, which decreases our immune drive. Absolutely. Okay. Exercise. We have to move to help clear the body of the toxins that come when we are fighting the virus or the bacteria, or even just day-to-day life, right? So exercise and movement is so, so important. And some of you belong here and you do that regularly at a community center, or, whatever you have. Maybe you're doing an exercise program at home, even going for a walk, doing some stretching, but every day getting some movement in and not staying still for longer than an hour or two without moving. Okay. So another way is that we reduce stress is, again, we look at the foods, we also look at environmental triggers, we look at everything you're putting in and on your body to help make sure that there's not toxins we're adding there, so we can have a separate discussion about that, but you can also look up the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15 to really guide you in eating more clean, so we're not adding more toxins to the mix. But you can also think about kind of replacing your soaps with more natural ones when it's time to do so. But also think about, emotional trauma working through. We all have been through some rough times. We have to make sure that we are handling those properly so they're not continuing to cause us physical trauma, right? But then anxiety, depression is everywhere. Finding your triggers to that, but also working to balance your nervous system through all the rest of these things, the diet and the lifestyle change. All right, let's talk about specific supplements. Again, check with your doctor before starting a new supplement regimen to make sure they're not going to interfere with your current medications or other supplements. So, but here's some general recommendations to research for yourself and to approach your doctor about, okay? But things like vitamin C, great way to reduce inflammation, great way to help the immune system. Vitamin D3 and K2, along with magnesium and a good multivitamin, all work together to help the body absorb that D3 and help our immune system, our nerves, our mood. Vitamin D3 is really important, okay? Make sure you get the magnesium and the electrolytes. Colloidal silver, elderberry, and are two great holistic ways, antibacterial, antimicrobial, antiviral. I mean, they're great natural ways to help. Actually, the elderberry has quercetin in it. I cannot say that right. I apologize. And that will help get the zinc into our cells to help kill the virus hanging out in there. Okay. Minerals. Our minerals are the spark to every metabolic process in our body. So if our minerals are not balanced, then it's really hard to have a healthy immune system and just to function day to day. All right. So we all need trace minerals because our soil is not giving us enough. All right. So I hope that is helpful to you. Also, how do you help your body fight when you're actually acutely ill? Have those supplements on hand and probably increase them when you get sick. But again, check with your doctor. Consider a vitamin C flush at the onset of symptoms. Vitamin C is something that we get rid of if we have an excess, and it can, when we're sick, our vitamin C need goes way, way up. Okay, so if you have any questions about that, let me know. When we feel sick, the last thing we want to do is move, but you need to set an alarm and make yourself get up still every hour or two and at least walk across the room to go get some water because Otherwise, you're going to feel worse and worse because the toxins are going to build up, right? So walk, stretch, move, even just for a little bit. Get out in the sun. Put your feet on the ground. Great way to reduce inflammation. Okay. So for pain, along with the grounding that I just discussed, there's also essential oils. Make sure you get therapeutic grade A. Otherwise, again, you're adding to your toxic load. You want to get the right ones. So peppermint, frankincense, great ways to help reduce inflammation. Peppermint's so good for headaches, but also nausea, right? That can come along with so many illnesses. Eucalyptus is a great way to open up the airway for any time you're struggling to breathe at your nose or your lungs. But think about, go back to the basics. What did our parents and grandparents and great grandparents use, right? Ice. Oh, they probably didn't have, may or may not have had a heating pad, right? But the basics can really help your pain. And then there's some also some great homeopathic options. The difference between homeopathic and what you're going to find at Walmart, like NyQuil, is the homeopathic is going to work with your body chemistry in a natural way to help your body do what it should do. A lot of times the over-the-counter NyQuil and things don't do that. They actually, a lot of times work against our body instead of with our body. Electrolytes, something as simple as electrolytes. Avoid the sugary Gatorade and Powerade. Don't get the fake sugar either. Gatorade has come out with some that actually don't have fake sugar. And I don't think they have fake food coloring. So just kind of watch your labels because you want to be careful. Even something as simple as Himalayan salt is electrolytes and minerals. So think about always having that on hand. There's something called trace minerals as well. Again, that is really helpful. And I personally love LMNT because it's a clean electrolyte source as well. So, and electrolytes are something we all need, not just when we're sick. All right, so next steps. If you feel your immune system is not functioning ideally, then want to look at your hidden stressors. We can test your urine, your blood, and your stool. With this information, we can then build a one-to-one coaching program and protocol to help bring balance back to your body. It is a journey, and it takes time, but with time, we can turn on your God-given innate ability to heal. It does take time. It takes changes, right? It takes commitment and ability to change. But when we give our body what it needs, it's amazing to see what happens. All right. So, you can book a discovery call for free just to discuss your health struggles. And if I think that my program can help you, I would love the opportunity to talk more about you and your challenges and how I think I can help. So if you book with me today, then will you get a 10% discount on your program? I hope this helps. And I've really enjoyed the opportunity to tell you more about your immune system and give you some tools to know that you have options. You have options, okay? And the decisions you make today helps your immune system for the future, all right? So now let's get to our drawings. And as always, this is from MTC Health and Wellness. Here's my contact information. You can call or text. Let me know when you're ready to book that discovery call and talk more about your health. Thank you so much.